As we wind down 2025 and we go into 2026, I wanted to go back to some films that I didn't get to see that I was really interested in. And this one, Eddington, on HBO Max is one of the big ones. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, but with a cast like this, I had to dive in. The problem with this movie is it really looks at a lot of the strange things that took place in 2020. From the COVID, the pandemic, to the elections, to the presidency, to what was going on around the world. Everything that we had to deal with, from the riots, the police brutality, to anti-police, just all of these things, these powder keg explosions that we dealt with in 2020. And I think it was really cool to look at that and dive into it in this small town. However, it really goes off the rails, and it does give us some humor and some really interesting moments, but it goes so far off the rails at the end of the film that I don't really know what I'm watching anymore. It's a tale of multiple movies that was giving us a really good point and a really good driven home fact about that time in human history, but I think it would have been better had it come out 10 years from now. 15 years from now. And I say that because I really believe that 10 years from now, as we look back at 2020, we're going to realize exactly the effect that it had on the world. We are going to realize and see the effect it had on our children that missed school. We're going to see the effect it had on us and kind of how it paved the landscape for some of the things we're dealing with now. And I'm not going to sit here and dive into the ideologies of that or to your belief of that or anything. I'm just saying that we all know we were affected one way or another. So I think that this movie really showed that, and it showed how people took advantage of that. It showed how people almost rose to fame because of that. But it just didn't really do a good job, as we are 6 years removed and we're still trying to figure out the effects of that. I also think it lost its way. I think that about halfway through this overly long, drawn-out, 2.5-hour movie, it lost its way. And frankly, at the end, it was all about big tech. And they missed all these points. They missed all these things they were building just to show us how big tech and big corporations are the enemy, which we knew and we kind of hinted at, but they went down so many different paths, and it took them 2 hours and 32 minutes to get there for a simple 9-minute ending, it felt like. I don't know. Look, I know if I gave it away, I'm sorry. I should have said no spoilers, but it's been out for a minute, so it is what it is. There's still a lot to unpack, so you still can watch it if you want. For me, this was a big miss.